They said it was impossible. They said,
you can't put together the most elite team of comic book reviewers on the planet and do, a podcast or something like that?
Despite all that, today we can proudly announce. Yeah, they were right. We couldn't do it. So instead, we brought you the most vile, ignorant, unprofessional group of comic book enthusiasts we could find. This is Panel to Panel, the Game Rage Magazine comic podcast.
Oh yeah, back once again in the saddle. Back in the garage studio for the first time in what? Probably like 6 months.
I don't know. An audible was called.
Yeah, an audible was called because Cooper was being an asshole again, and I couldn't stand it. So here we are.
Not a fucking ounce out of him right now, though.
Oh yeah, he's quiet as fuck. So whatever. But either way, panel to panel, Game Rage Magazine back again with Darth Vader number 11. Before we get into that, if you want to hear more of our stuff, you can go to YouTube, where you can like, comment, and subscribe.
YouTube.
Additionally, you can follow us on social media at Game Rage Magazine, Instagram and TikTok, at Game Rage Mag, Twitter/X. Also, if you like music, you can follow Good Buddy Adam at All Gas No Trash Official on Instagram and go check out the All Gas No Trash podcast, where we may or may not be receiving a cease and desist order soon.
As if we won't already.
That's true. And you can tune in to find out why. Also, if you like animes and mangas from the Japans, you should go listen to Anime Syndicate. And you can follow Frank on Instagram at anime_syndicate_podcast. Also, stay tuned for later this week, we're going to be talking about Dragon Ball Daima, or whatever the fuck it's called.
You guys are going to watch that?
Yep, we're watching it, and we're going to fucking watch episode whatever one I think is out already, so we're going to watch that.
Are you going to watch the other anime I recommended?
I told him about it, and he said that, he thinks he wants to do that one too. So we're going to do Dragon Ball first, and then probably the Dan or whatever. So, yes, we will be getting to that.
Okay, cool.
So, and it'll be quite excellent, hopefully. So, anyways, you can go stay tuned for that and check that out.
Get the ball rolling on fucking Anime Syndicate.
Hell yeah. Anyways, now we're on to Darth Vader, number 11.
I have to say, this issue fucked so hard.
It did.
I felt that the interest in Darth Vader was starting to taper off with this little side quest that Dr. Aphra was sent to find out about the whereabouts, or I think it was more pertinent to find out any information as far as Luke Skywalker goes, but it was also to confirm the death and finding out any details about Padme after episode 3, which was, I don't want to say it didn't really ultimately matter to me. I think it did contribute something overall to the story, but this was far superior of an issue. There was action. There was there was betrayal.
Oh yeah. There was some droid fuckery. I mean, it had all the elements of a good story. I mean, there was comedy, there was suspense. It had fucking everything. It did. They did a good job with this one. So, without further ado, let's get into it. We get the cover. Darth Vader surrounded by fire, lightsaber out, drawing a hole in the fucking sand or
badass
whatever
cover.
That. Yeah, excellent cover. And as always, we'll start with the typical crawl. Book 2, Part 5, Shadows and Secrets. It is a period of foreboding. After the destruction of the Death Star by a force-strong rebel pilot, the Sith Lord, Darth Vader, has taken it upon himself to discover the pilot's true identity under the Empire's watchful eye. Using the expertise of droid archaeologist Dr. Aphra and her lethal droids BT-1 and 000, me, Vader looted a stash of credits from an Imperial cruiser, making it look like an accident. Aphra, using the stolen credits, located Commodus Tan, the mortician who oversaw Senator Amidala's burial, and confirmed Darth Vader's suspicions about the rebel pilot. However, Vader's new adjutant, Inspector Thanos, knows that all is not what it seems and plans to investigate further. Thanos has discovered the location of an information broker called the Anti and has created a strike force to bring him down. And then we open up on the Spire, Anthem Prime, with like this fucking blue swirling fucking cloud of nonsense outside of it. And it's basically Afra talking about how the storms are fierce, and she's in the room with the auntie, and she's got BT and 000 there with her, and she's asking about like, oh man, are you like worried about having this fucking base like in the middle of this goddamn like asteroid storm? Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh no, it's great for business. Like the tourists love this shit. And so he's like, this actually like is a great way to launder money. Tourism is basically what he's saying. And you know, he's like, it's like having localized asteroids belts, but with more style. And she's like, well, fuck, can you get through them? And he's like, you know, much as you can go through a fucking asteroid belt, like not reliably. But he's like, I like the sure things in life, Afra. And she says, oh, that's funny because I'm a woman who doesn't believe in sure things at all. And then fucking you got good old comic relief fucking 000. And if I may add, I'm a droid who likes holochats. And then fucking BT's like, beep, beep, beep. And then he's like, as is BT, my good buddy here. And then she's like, here, she gives him some money. And she's like, go have fun, guys. She gives him one fucking, like, chit of that money or whatever.
Yeah.
Because, like, you see when they lose it, that guy pulls in this fucking huge...
Yeah, he pulls in a lot.
Had they amassed, like, a shit ton of money and then they lost it all in that one?
I feel like they pocketed... They're like, oh, this ain't gonna cut it. And then they just probably found out where the stash was and just kind of pocketed some of it. Because, they end up losing more than what they actually have.
Yeah, which is funny. So then she gives him a fucking little chit and she says, go have fun, fellas. And she's like, the Annie and I do our business without you. And we just hear, Vader, Lord Vader. And we come into Vader and Thanos comes in. He says, I got the lead. We need to fucking strike now, immediately. Is the strike force, I like this fucking way he says this, is the strike force marshaled? Like, I feel like he speaks in, like, British, like some kind of a British proper fucking accent. And anyways, he's like, Vader's like, I thought you, the great Inspector Thanos, surely you can figure that out on your own, like, you fucking idiot. Yeah, and it shows this sweet shot of Vader, like, as he's kind of looking over his shoulder, and you just see the legions of fucking stormtroopers, and then, like, there's a couple TIE fighters in the back, ready to rock. And so he asks him, basically, how did he, like, get the info? And Thanos is basically just saying that with the data they got from the dragon, he was able to... pretend to be someone interested and got a meeting with a certain individual of considerably local import. And he said he got the sector. He managed to find the sector's prime info broker, this guy called the Anti. He says he's currently based in the underside of the Spire. And Vader's like, oh, yes, this is great. Fuck, shit. Vader currently has to know that Afra is meeting with fucking the Anti.
He's like, oh, son of a bitch.
And so then Thanos is like, oh, yes, it's so great. His systems would have every detail of anything of note that happened over here. And if we can get that before he destroys it, man, this is going to be a fucking gold mine, man. Like, he's got that fucking Charlie Day, like, you know, fucking with the things already. He's like, it's a gold mine, man. And he's like, the clock is ticking. We got to go. And then Vader's just like, I imagine Vader just slowly sauntering like how he does, like he walks just very slowly.
Yeah.
And he's like, and the guy's like, this is straight to the larcenous, man. And who knows what else, man? And Vader's just like, yeah. And he's just fucking slowly walking. So then we cut back to Afra and, man, you mentioned something earlier about the art in this one, or the poses and stuff that he's got Afra do, that thumbs up one or whatever.
Yeah.
This one also is fucking terrible too. This like where she's sitting back, like just junk hanging out, like fucking just the way it's drawn. I know he was trying to draw like the thing from the fire, like the shadows and stuff, but like it just came off fucking weird looking. But anyways, she's telling the Auntie basically what she's here for. She's like, I need to know who this motherfucker Luke Skywalker, I need to know where he's at. And the Auntie's like, oh yeah, I know who he is. And, I know why people are looking for him. You're not the only one who's been trying to find this dude. There's many interested people, and demand has upped the price. And so he shows her this fucking, like, thing with what I can imagine is, like, a bunch of fucking zeros on it. Or it's in fucking Arabesh or whatever. So, like, you can't really see what the numbers are. But it's just, like, there's a bunch of commas in there. Like, it's a very long digit number. And she's like, wow, that is an exciting number. Who else have you sold it to? And he basically just says nobody, but this is why the price is what it is. She's like, come on, man. Like, you think I'm going to fall for that shit? And she says, or he says to her, all crime lords are greedy. We want profits and power. We do not pursue this line of work out of altruism. However, most lack self-control. I do not. In the long run, a reliable trading partner will make more profit. Eventually, someone will pay my price and everyone will be better off. And then she's like, no, I'm glad I could be that someone. And she pulls out this bag of fucking those chits and she's like, yeah, you know what? Just keep the change. I don't even fucking, this is probably right. And he's like, yo, you bring this much here with nothing but a pair of droids for protection? Like, wow, you are very trusting. And she's like, listen, she reads back to him basically what he's saying. All crime lords are greedy, wanting profits, power, plush cushions. But I understand that you, the auntie, do not lack self-control and blah, blah, blah. Fancy prepared speech to recite while fronting during deals. Like, this was like a pretty funny little like line that she fucking dropped. And kind of just to show her like, this is like her, I don't know, roguishness, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. Like her laissez-faire, like, yeah, let's just get to the point. Listen, I'm a criminal too, right? Like, so then he's like, hey, this is a rather large amount of Imperial credits. I had my suspicions about the Sun Tool Pride's fortune. I'd say this very circumstantial evidence would confirm my prejudices. And she's like, yo, listen, can we just cut out what I'm presuming is crime lord flirting? No, I don't want to see your enormous undercover operation. Just give me the kid's location and let me get out of here. And so he tells her that he's on Vrogras Voss. And she's like, damn, Annie, you're the best. And then she does that weird fucking thumbs up pose, man.
It's like the weirdest fucking thumb, dude.
It is, dude. It is a weird fucking thumb. I also thought she should have, like, teeth been smiling, especially since she says it. Like, her mouth is closed. Like, she's talking while saying this.
You know what it looks like? The end of a vibrator, like the double-ended vibrator.
That little tip that touches the clit. That's what it looks like. Yeah, you're right. It does look like that. With a nail on it. That's weird, man. Now you cannot unsee that now. That's exactly what that looks like.
Very strange.
That is very strange. And then they get this alarm. Imperial Raiders approaching. Alert, alert. And Afra's like, oh, great. And it cuts to BT and 000 playing holo chess with some asshole. And then the guy's like, and match. Well played. Definitely didn't cheat in any way. And then he's fucking literally takes this pile of fucking money. And he's like, don't be such a sore loser, Jordan. And he's like, oh, I'm not a sore loser. Quite the contrary. Let's shake like good sports. And his hand has the little electricity thing fucking going.
Yeah.
And as soon as he's about to do that, Afra comes in and says, hey, get back to the Archangel right now. We're getting visitors. And he's like, how annoying. God damn, I was just about to let you keep this guy and get all his fucking money back. God damn it. So then the place explodes and stormtroopers pop in. Vader jumps out with Thanos at his side. Resist and die. And this was a fucking hilarious panel because it shows all these fucked up fucking criminals in this under den of criminality, right? And it shows their faces and they're all just like mouth open, just completely shocked that the fucking, not only the Empire is here, but Darth Vader
himself
strolled in. And so then you got fucking 000 saying, oh, it does great to let that awful cheater live, BT. If only there was some way. And then BT just goes, and just pulls out his minigun and just lights this dude the fuck up. Fucking lights his ass up.
But it also leaves behind fucking Imperial credits.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, now they're getting, now the information, the evidence is starting to mount.
Right. And so then we get the guy, like you see two panels, one of the criminals, and they're like, what was that? And then one of the stormtroopers are like, they're shooting at us, return fire. And then they just start fucking blasting everybody. And so then fucking it shows BT and 000 escaping. He goes, oh, BT, what did I ever do to deserve you? Oh, I love you, buddy. And they abscond from the area. And anyways, it cuts back to Vader and Thanos, and they're looking around, and they find, obviously, the auntie right here. And Vader just is like, I am not in the mood for resistance, criminal. And he's like, the auntie's like, hey, listen, I'm not going to give you any resistance. My name is the auntie, and I want to help you, good buddy Lord Vader and the Empire. All the records behind me are destroyed, right? That was part of the service that I offered. These records would never be compromised. However, my own knowledge is quite considerable, and I'm sure we can come to some sort of an understanding here. And to show my good faith, I understand the Plasma Devils are causing you some trouble. Their base is on the 15th substrata of Anthen 1. And I know a whole lot more. And Thanos tells him, yes, very interesting, but our primary needs are rather simpler. The Sun Tool Pride's treasures were stolen. We're looking for the responsible parties. This guy immediately turns on fucking Aphra. Oh, you'll never guess your luck. That's her right there. And Vader's like, God, dude, without even looking, having no facial expressions, just the way he's standing, you can just tell he's like, God fucking damn it. And he's like, oh yeah, she was here for another business meeting, private of course, but and he says, excellent, who is she? And just as he's about to say, Vader looks and he sees a fucking Mon Calamari about to get shot. Vader moves the Mon Calamari into the way of the fucking laser. It shoots him, and then fucking I'm assuming, because they don't actually show, but I'm assuming the Mon Calamari turns and actually shoots at fucking the Annie and kills him. Yeah. And shoots him, and then fucking Thanos is like, oh god, unlucky stray shot, man. He could have told us so much more. And then Vader's just like, yes, this is
unfortunate,
very unfortunate business. And so then Thanos is like, we have our target, Inspector Thanos to all stormtroopers after her. And Vader's just like, she will not escape. And he's like, yeah, I gotta kill this bitch now before she squeals on me. And so Aphra's fucking booking it, and she's this is also funny. She's like, BT, shut the blast door in the approach corridor. And he shuts the wrong fucking door. She's like, God damn it, not that one, the one behind me, you idiot. And she's like, oh, whatever, fucking it doesn't matter. So then she slides on through.
Yeah.
This is like, dude, man, this is a typical like scene out of like a, I don't know, like an Indiana Jones movie or whatever. If it was like in the future. Like this was cool. This was fucking great.
Yeah.
And so then she slides through, turns around, fucking shoots the panel out, and she's like, 000, I'm coming, get the engines running. I'll be with you too. And then the door opens right into the corridor. You see the fucking Archangel in the background, and Vader's fucking standing there. And she's like, yo, boss, what's going on? This is tight, but I can get away. And he turns on his lightsaber, and he's like, do not struggle. And he fucking starts choking her. And she's like, God, I know where the boy is. And he's gripping her harder, and he's like, ah, shit. And so he lets her go, and he says, tell me. And she's like, I will. Later. And then they both just kind of stand there, and Vader's like, oh, this fucking smart-ass bitch. He's like, God damn it. And so then he deactivates his lightsaber, and she's just like, all right, cool. And then she's like, and he's like, silence, you will answer for this. And he's like, oh, she's like, fuck. So then he fucking brings the roof down and fucking buries himself. And then she gets in the ship, books it. Just as the stormtroopers come in, Thanos is like pointing like, God, get that bitch. And Vader fucking busts out of the...
Like he couldn't grab the fucking Archangel.
I know, right?
Yeah, I mean,
he could have easily done
he could have.
But see, that's the thing. Thanos doesn't know that. He doesn't really know how powerful Vader is. No one really knows how powerful Vader is.
It's been decades.
Fucking, 20 years almost, probably at this point, since the Jedi were erased from existence. So, anyways, he says, oh, Lord Vader, are you, and he's like, she had prepared a trap, God damn it. And he's like, traps. Always good to set a trap. And she's flying through the thing, going through that cloud. And she's like, I think the Annie was right. These storms really are pretty. And he's like, 000's like, I would concur, assuming you meant pretty likely to kill you. I have to agree, BT. Being terminated would curtail our future plans for havoc. Can we make speed, Mr. Zafra? That's so fucking funny, man. And so then she busts through, and she's like almost through, and she opens up into the fucking, an Imperial fleet of fucking Star Destroyer, what is it, TIE fighters and shit?
Yeah, I'm not mistaken in that they're shooting fucking... Are they shooting shit at her ship, or are they shooting it at the fucking spire? It's a ship, right?
Yeah, that's her ship. That's the Archangel.
Yeah.
And so then you hear in a text box, which it's Thanos, and he's like, you see, Lord Vader, I plotted our blockade most carefully. There is no escape. And... so she's like, oh, fuck. And so then she has to fucking go back into the cloud. And then he says, sooner or later, we'll have her in our hands. And then we'll see what she has to say. And then Vader's just like, he's like, God fucking damn it. He's like, I should have killed that bitch. He's like, fuck.
So I'm not sure if I understand this correctly, but just judging by the fact that the auntie proposed stated what the bounty was for Luke Skywalker, that she was also considering using that info to get him herself for that amount of money.
Maybe. Well, that was what the price was for the information. That wasn't like the bounty. That was just the information of where he's at.
Oh, okay.
Because the people were there were a lot of dudes looking for him.
Oh, okay, all right.
And so he just said this has made the price go super high. No one's been willing to pay it yet. And then that's when she's like, "Oh, good thing I'm here."
Oh,
with
okay,
this bag of fucking money. And so then we get the cover of the next issue. Vader fucking leading stormtroopers into battle. TIE fighters in the background.
I have a feeling there's going to be like an insurrection from Vader himself, and he's like, "Well, can't have this."
Yeah, basically.
So then we'll possibly wipe out this Thanoth character already, just like the auntie. Maybe. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I think that's probably what's going to end up happening. I mean, Thanos is going to die. I mean, there's really no other way to, like, tie this up other than he's got to die. Unless he gets fucked up and then, like, maybe he doesn't actually die, but then he fucking, I don't know. I still would love to fucking see a Thanos fucking comic, man. Like a detective comic of, like, just Imperial Investigator, Thanos, like, or some shit like that.
Shit, man. They should make a series out of the goddamn droids, man.
Oh, yeah, that would be great,
like
too,
an
man.
R-rated, like an Adult Swim series about just these asshole droids.
Yeah, BT and 000, like, going around and causing fucking mayhem. Like,
yeah.
Like, after this, whatever happens at the end of this, I'm sure, like, I don't know what happens to them, but, like, say they're alive. Oh, man, you do a thing of just them on their own, like, surviving in the galaxy, and they're just fucking people. They're just going around playing holo chess and killing people, like...
Yeah, it'd be perfect, because then that'd be the way to get... Well, it doesn't solely have to be that, but they'd constantly be in debt somewhere, because they play holo chess everywhere, and they'd fucking owe a dickload of money, and then they just go on the run, and then they get into other shenanigans. But fuck, man, like, it sucks knowing that... I don't even know if these characters end up being in the Dr. Aphra series.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I don't know either.
I actually don't even know when the Dr. Aphra series starts.
Taking
it's
place?
after the fact. After
Yeah,
after the fact?
well, yeah, it's true. Who knows? It could be before. It could be like a prequel to this, but I don't know. Anyways, well, maybe it's something to look into. But anyways, all right, well, fuck, you anything else said?
No, like I said, this was a fucking stellar issue where the stakes have never been higher, and Darth Vader is now got himself cornered, and his tentative partner that might end up dying. Who the fuck knows? And then he's also pitted against the goddamn Empire. So
yeah, true.
It's a wild ride.
Indeed, it is. So, anyways, thank you guys for listening. We will catch you guys on the next one. And in the meantime, if you want, you can go ahead and follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine, Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag. You can go to YouTube, check out all of our other stuff on the YouTube. Like, comment, and subscribe there. Also, follow Adam at All Gas No Trash Official on Instagram, and you can follow Frank at anime_syndicate_podcast.
And one of you dickheads was so kind enough to fucking actually send something to us, which we'll probably talk about in a BFN episode if you're curious to know what this individual wrote, which I don't, if you like hearing about her own gossip.
yeah, fucking tune in the BFN show. Anyways, all right, that's it for us. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
That was Panel to Panel, the Game Rage Magazine comic book podcast. Thanks for listening. If you want to know more and follow along, go to Instagram and TikTok. Follow at Game Rage Magazine. If you want to follow on Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag. Tune in next time.